What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, and behind me is the all-new 2019 Dodge Ram. Huge shout out to them for providing this truck for me for today's video. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below. And the model that we're looking at today is the 1500 Limited. It's finished off in diamond black crystal pearl and has an MSRP just under $65,000. Under the hood is a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 paired only to an 8-speed automatic. This engine produces 395 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 410 pound-feet of torque at 3,900 RPM. Also optional is the e-torque system, which provides 130 pound-feet of additional torque, but mainly is intended to boost fuel economy. This weighs around 5,300 pounds, roughly 225 pounds lighter than its predecessor, and with a fuel capacity of 33 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 15 in the city and 21 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 144.5 inches. It has an overall length of 232.9. The width is 82.1. It has a height of 77.6 inches. And the cab has been stretched 4 inches, giving the rear passengers more room and extending the overall length and wheelbase. This is only offered in an extended and crew cab with 2 bed lengths as well. Starting up front, this truck features active grille shutters and a front air dam which deploy at speeds greater than 35 miles an hour. LED headlights with bending technology come standard along with LED fog lights. The pockets for the fog lights have been redesigned to improve aerodynamics. Of the 7 different models offered this year, they each feature their own unique grille. This truck features a forward-facing camera with 6 parking sensors up front and redesigned lines in the hood to improve more of the aerodynamics. There are also 2 front tow hooks in the lower section of the bumper. The polished painted wheels measure 22 by 9 and have a nice two-tone finish to them. This truck features the optional height-adjustable air ride suspension. It has multiple settings. It will lower the truck 0.6 inches at speed to improve drag. If you opt for the e-torque system I mentioned earlier in the video, it will offer regenerative brakes that feed energy to battery packs mounted behind the rear seats. The power folding side mirrors have been redesigned for less drag. They also have a nice chrome finish to them along with LED turn signals. More chrome trim pieces surround the windows, the door handles, and the lower section of the doors. And the truck also features power folding side steps to aid in getting in and out of the truck. And finishing up in the rear with the standard backup camera and 6 parking sensors mounted on the lower section of the bumper. There's LED taillights, a redesigned Ram logo in the center of the tailgate. This truck can feature a locking rear differential. It can tow up to 12,000 pounds. The sides of the bumpers have been beveled off nicely to improve less drag as well. And it features dual chrome-tipped exhausts. And now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a more in-depth view of the interior. Quite a lot of functions on the key. Besides your lock and unlock, you can double tap the bottom 3 to open up the tailgate, to lower the vehicle to exit and entry level. You can also double tap on the key fob to remotely start it. And then again, you can double tap it to shut it off. And with the truck locked, all I have to do is walk up to the vehicle, place my hand in the door handle, it will automatically unlock. The door panel is finished off in black leather with white stitching. This has a nice intricate pattern behind the aluminum release handle, real wood inlays behind that. Your memory seat adjustments with the side mirror controls. All the windows are automatic up and down with your lock and unlock. This has a 9-speaker sound system. More storage behind your grab handle along with down below for more cup holder storage space. Moving on to the black leather seats, they have more of that intricate pattern on each side with white piping around the headrest. Nice bolsters to them. They have perforated leather on the inside. These have an 8-way power adjustability along with 4-way lumbar power adjustability. Once inside, we're greeted with a steering wheel that has a combination of leather on both sides along with wood inlay running along the top and the bottom section. There's more stitching running along the inside of it. Gives it a nice premium feel. On the right side is all of the cruise control settings along with distance pacing and adaptive cruise control. The right side has the Bluetooth controls. These right here control the center screen. We can take a look at the speedometer. There's vehicle information, oil pressure, oil temperature, things like that. driver assistance screen, fuel economy, your trip information, along with a trailer tow feature. You can control the electronic trailer brake. You have your audio and messages, along with a screen setup. There's also more hands-free controls on both sides of the steering wheel, and these control your radio volume along with being able to change the radio. On the left side of the steering wheel, there's a headlight switch, 2 rotary dials to control the brightness of the gauges. The electronic parking brake, these 2 will control the pedals. You can move them forwards or backwards. There's 1 air vent, along with a speaker and more leather in the center of the dash. A little bit of storage space and a 12 volt right above the giant 12-inch screen. Using the center screen setup, there are so many things you can configure with this. On the left side are your AC controls. This does have a dual zone climate control setup, so the driver and passenger are on both sides. There's a mode selection button to control where you'd like the air, along with your front and rear defrosters and your recirc on the right side. On the top portion is your hazard light. There's a parallel parking feature along with a lane keep assist feature. Moving on to the screen itself, we can go down to controls. You have your heated and ventilated driver's seat along with the heated steering wheel. You can go to your backup camera from this screen, heated and ventilated passenger seat. Moving on to the climate controls, we can turn them on. Very easy to use. Moving to the center apps button, it gives you everything that you have with the truck. If there's anything that you use a lot, you can go ahead and hold down on that and drag it to the bottom. So if you need to use the backup camera a lot, it's readily available for you. You can see the navigation screen. This is a pinch to zoom system, so you can easily zoom in, zoom out. You have a great view of where you are and what you're able to see. And then moving to Bluetooth, obviously there's no phone on it right now, but there are a ton of different settings you can go through, changing all of your driving assistance modes, your wipers, your lights. We can go back to trailer brake and configure that. Moving to the left of that screen is your gear selector. This also has 4-wheel drive, so all of those controls are right here. Twisting this dial to the right, we'll go ahead and put it into reverse. You'll see the backup camera light up. We can go through different settings too. We can take a look at just the rear. We can look at the front camera, the front split with the 360-degree camera. Just from the rear again, seeing it full screen. And then we can look at the rear with the 360-degree camera. Putting the car into reverse too, you'll see both mirrors fold down to give you better visibility. There's a zoom portion of the mirror on the top left, which really helps as well. And then putting it back into drive, they will fold back up. And then taking another look at the center gauge setup, there's a nice blue accent around the tach and speedometer. You have your fuel gauge on the right side as well, along with RAM on the top and a compass on the top left side. And again, all of that can be configured to how you'd like it. On each side of the center screen, you have an air vent again, along with more of the wood inlays running along the top of it. Down below are some nice toggle switches that have a really solid feel to them. There's the front and rear parking sensors, a tow haul mode, traction control. This is how you raise and lower the vehicle from the exit entry level all the way up to off-road. There's also another trailer braking system here. Below that, there's 2 USB ports along with 2 USB-C ports, a CD player, and now we're going to move to the center console that has a ton of storage space. Opening up the center compartments in the Limited, there's a smaller storage space on the top with a USB. Then there's a larger space down below. This whole center actually moves, and I'll show you that in a second. But down below, there's this flip tray that you can have. If you don't want anything to go all the way through, you can flip that up and down. It also shows every generation of the Dodge, if you guys can see that. Very cool, neat design, hidden very well. On the back side of the center armrest is a conversions chart. So if you're using this as a work truck and you need to convert between metric and standard, you have that nice little plaque nicely hidden away. Moving to the movable center, there's 2 cup holders up front, a little bit of storage in the back, and you can push on this front button to move that backwards if you want more storage space in the front. This has a normal household outlet down in the bottom, along with a wireless charging station if you have the right case, and it goes forward underneath that just a little bit more. So plenty of center storage space. Moving on to 2 glove boxes. There's one down below that has a good bit of storage space, and then pushing on this button right here opens up the top portion, and you can see you have a little bit more to work with there. It's also covered in more of the nice wood inlays, says Limited on the right side. We'll take another look at the interior. This has a full panoramic roof. All of those controls are up in the center. You have your open and tilt for the sunroof. This does the sunshade, and then you can open and close the rear glass. There's also the dome light switches, and you can open the tailgate from up top as well. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the rear seating, and when I open the door, these side steps will automatically deploy. The door panel is finished off, of course, as the same as the front, with your nice brushed aluminum release handle. Your side window control, a little bit of storage space down below. This is a 5-seater. Let's go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, there's some storage pockets if you need to use them. A household outlet on the bottom with more of your USB and C ports. Heated rear seats with an air vent on both sides and more of that wood inlay, along with 2 cup holders. I have the front seat set at my height, 5'10", and there is so much room in the back of these seats. I have plenty of headroom. They also recline, so we can pull that forwards and we can just relax back here. So roomy in the back, I could almost stand up if I wanted to. The center will fold out too, just by pulling on this handle. We can go ahead and fold that down. It gives you 2 more cup holders and a little bit of storage under that seat. Behind the driver and passenger seat, if you just lift the floor mat a little bit, we can go ahead and open up this storage compartment. I have my 24-ounce water bottle down here just to show you how deep this pocket is. Very impressive for the floor of the truck to have that deep of a storage pocket. The seats can be folded up too. They have a 60-40 split to them. If you just lift on the front of the seat, just like you were going to recline it, you'll see it'll go vertically straight up. There's tie downs in the back, so you can put any large items that you need back here. A little bit of storage underneath the seats. There's this flip tray that we can pull out if you want to put anything back here and not have it roll. This is the divider between each side. Now we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the bed storage space. They have replaced a handle with an electronic button up in this cubby space here, or you can double tap on the key fob itself and open up the tailgate. This tailgate is made of aluminum. It is very light. You can do it one-handed, makes it very easy to do. The payload capacity for this truck is about 2,300 pounds. This one has the optional bed liner sprayed into it, gives it a very nice texture. And again, there are 2 beds offered. This is the shorter bed, so you can opt for a longer bed to give you even more storage. All right guys, so it is time to take this Ram out on the road. This is one of the first trucks I've been able to actually drive for a review for you guys, so this is gonna be fun. The first thing that I think I should talk about is the visibility in this truck, since I'm pulling out of the parking lot right now. As big as this truck is, and I'm not really used to that because my Toyota Tacoma is much smaller, but this is so easy to maneuver around parking lots and spaces. There's little mirrors in the corners of each one that you can use to see the actual bed. It zooms in on it much more, so you're able to see anything that you're close to if you're pulling out and there's a car next to you or anything like that. And then the 360-degree camera really helps in this truck, especially backing it up into tight parking areas. Now I'm watching my side mirrors, and you guys will see where I am. This is actually very easy to do, but look at that, I'm right in between both of the lines there. And look at that, right in the middle of the lines. That was super easy. I have a lot of room on that side of me, and a good bit on this side. I'm a little closer on that side. But overall visibility, looking over your left and right shoulder, with the glass being basically right behind you there, there's really no blind spots over your left and right side. So driving this full-size truck is actually really easy to maneuver, and coming from my Toyota Tacoma, obviously that's much smaller than this, but this doesn't feel really any different. I can tell it's a much bigger truck. Moving on to the overall comfort of this truck now, just driving it a couple miles so far, you know, it really doesn't feel like it's a pickup truck. You wouldn't get it and think that you're in a pickup truck. It's very smooth, especially with the air ride suspension that this one has. It has a soft, smooth ride to it. I'm not on a bumpy road right now, but I can hardly feel, you know, any bumps that I do go over. So as far as driving this every day, if it's something that you need for work, it's a very comfortable ride. It almost kind of floats around these turns, but it definitely feels smooth, and it's very quiet too. I can barely hear the tires or the road noise. Definitely has a comfortable seat in it to be able to drive this every day. The overall fit and finish too of this truck is not something you would typically see in a pickup truck. It has these nice wood inlays on the steering wheel and on the door panels, a huge 12-inch screen in the center. It's crazy how configurable that is and how easy it is to use too. It's just like being on your phone. They've really hidden all the buttons very well with putting them on each side. And then the toggle switches on the bottom give it a cool, extra kind of sporty look to it. And then moving on to the interior storage space, I could definitely see fitting 5 full-size people in this truck. As you guys saw me in the back seat there at 5'10", I had so much room to just relax, recline the seat, and have pretty much as much room as I could possibly need. They made this truck the largest double cab that Dodge has ever produced. They added 4 inches to the truck, and all of that went to the rear seat. But even folding up those seats, I think that's very impressive. There's tie downs back there. You can put anything back there that you want. It's pretty crazy to see. You pretty much have a trunk behind the driver's seat. This is a pretty heavy truck too. It's not really built for speed, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a little bit of gas. For the 5,300 pounds or so that it weighs, it definitely got up to speed. There was a little bit of lag in that, but you know, obviously it's not built for that. It's built for towing. It can tow about 8,500 pounds. I know I said up to 12,000 pounds earlier. That 12,000 pounds is for the larger models, you know, just saying that it can tow up to 12,000 pounds. So overall, getting behind the wheel of the Dodge Ram, I'm very impressed with this truck. The only pickup truck I've really driven is my Toyota Tacoma, so it's really cool to be able to experience this truck and what it has to offer. I think the biggest difference is having that air ride suspension. I'm going over little bumps right now, and I can hardly feel them. You know, it's a stiff suspension setup to be able to haul, you know, big loads and things like that, but it's also able to adapt and go over bumps, take turns like that very smooth. So I'm very impressed with the versatility that this truck has. Now we'll go ahead and take one last look from the passenger side. The door panel again finished off in black leather and more of those wood inlays. It looks very nice along the center dash as well. Very nice layout. The seats are black leather, again, look really cool. New for this year, when you go to lock the vehicle, you'll see that these become flush with the truck now. That way when you rest your arm on it, you don't have to worry about that being in your way. I have this side folded up and the driver's side down so you can see the difference. Tons of storage space on the inside for whatever you need. You can configure that how you'd like. And of course you have the bed space as well. So that is my walk around review and test drive of the all new 2019 Dodge Ram 1500. Huge shout out again to Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this truck for me for today's video. I'm very impressed with this truck. It has so much technology built into it. You can store and tow anything that you need. It rides great, has a good look to it. Overall, there's just so many options that you can get on this truck to get it the way you'd like. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I will see you guys next video.